All right, let's do a quick refresher on just how we do completing the square. All right, when we complete the square, we want this portion on the left side of the equals, and this needs to go over here. This is prepping for doing circles. So I'm going to add 51 to both sides. Now, normally in algebra, we go ahead and collapse, but I'm not going to. Instead, I'm going to say plus blank equals 51 plus blank. Now, you'll see here in just a moment why I put the two blanks in. Because in completing the square, I'm going to set it up. This is what I call my housekeeping. Because we're going to set this up to where we have a binomial that we can just square to get another trinomial. We're recreating a trinomial. So I'm going to drop an x. That's this x, because I'm going to, the square is out here. The square kind of moves. This sign drops. And then I have that. So 14 divided by 2 is 7. Now, I need to backfill, and I do that by going 7 squared. Well, 7 squared is 49. Well, to keep my, in the very beginning of algebra, we always said, we tell you to think about how keeping the equation balanced. Well, if I add 49 to the left, I've got to add 49 to the right. And by doing that, 5149 gives me 100. I can now enact the square root property by getting rid of this by square rooting that parentheses. This and this cancels, leaving me just x plus 7. But when I square root this side, remember when I do the left, I gotta do the right. It gives me 10, but it gives me a plus 10 and a minus 10. At this point, we break this into two pieces. I'm going to change pages. So I end up x plus 7 equals negative 10, and x plus 7 equals a positive 10. That's that plus minus working out. I now solve as if I have two different equations. Subtract 7. So x equals negative 17. And x equals 3. This is completing the square. And it is originally, these are 2 points in a graph. And how these come into play here shortly is that when we do circles, these are x-intercepts. Because well, not so much x-intercepts. They are going to be important because we're shifting things into a vertex format. I'm trying to think how I want to say this. And this would be a vertex. But right now, these are x-intercepts because it didn't have a circle. These are parabolas. Another way of finding x-intercept is a difference of squares. All right.